Hello everyone, welcome back to Satisfactory. Today we're going to bump up our power grid, get more plutonium reactor silos up, and hopefully start the process of at least converting it all into fixonium and maybe the fuel rod, but the fuel rod is going to be a little bit more involved. But the fixonium we should be able to handle today. But we need a lot of things in prep in order to do it. I want to try to put the particle accelerators here. I have all the plutonium waste getting shot over here from the other side, from that coolant tower. It'd be nice if they're all on the same side, but no. But I want to try to put a tower here and a tower here, put these both down before we go, before we really start getting into it. But I would like for this to start, this part to be going. Now, I know later on in the chain here, to make the fuel rod, you need a fixonium, electromagnetic rods, a crap ton of fixite trigons, and that just comes from power, which is fine. So, this system already is making control rods downstairs. Now, I may try to piggyback off it. I will dump the rest of the summer soups I have in here and go from there. But yes, I want to try to put the particle accelerators there. Maybe a little bit of belt work. I have Sam being trained in from the underground. I do have another station set up over here. It's actually this node. It gets belted across to a train station right here. It's actually underground. The only SAM node I believe I have occupied right now is this one in the middle of the crater, and it's only an impure. Look, we will scoop it up if we need it. So, I'm gonna see if I can put. Just gonna tuck this in here. Put that there. And I have to redo the walkway, but it's just a decal. But yeah, that's what I kind of want to do here. I hope I can figure out enough that this will be enough. No, not this one. These. The system will not collapse me using them, because it goes all the way down here. Yeah, just piggybacking off it might be a little haywire. I have to upgrade all the belts and stuff. But let's get these all belted in and looking pretty. And here we are, all belted in and ready to go. This took a little bit of a trial and error. I could do it in 3, but I decided to lower it to only 150%, because that splits this into 300 even. Whereas if not, it's like, I think 400, or 500, which is an odd if I fully max it. So this splits a full pipe into, sorry for the loud particle accelerator, but I can split one 600 pipe into 2 times, and that will get me what I need. The singularity cells, if you look over here, I actually have a road. Built a road that hugs the bottom of the train line, just a tiny little pickup truck, brings it over, does a little ball hauling underneath the whole setup over there, groups on, drops it off, and then I have it being built over here into where it needs to go. Like I said, I have the SAM down here. That is mainly just going to be used for a Kickstarter, because the system actually backfeeds in on itself. Once we get this up and rolling, which the only thing I'm missing is the dark matter, you get 125 return, and I need 5 of these machines. So 125 times 5 is 625. So yeah, I'm going to need something. Actually, yeah, I could do this. I can't even fully max it because I only have 3 left, because I went with the whole piggybacking idea. Instead of having an entire huge production chain down here and up here, around here, I just dumped them all into the red ones, or the ones that are making the electronic control rods. So that bumped it up. I upgraded the belt work, and we're gonna see what we can do with that. Now, hopefully it doesn't... I thought about either taking it from the end here and belting it around, or I can pull it right from here and kick it across. But I might pull it from the end just to make sure these get what they're getting. So the nuclear reactors do not stop, even though this one's... it struggles with uranium, but that's... The blueprint developer actually painted these red. I did not. But I might pull them from the end, scoop it around here to the end, like along the edge, and go from there. It's a little bit of a haul. Maybe I'll cut it into through here and then bring it along here. But yeah. To fix a Trigon, it's 250 each. Yeah. That's a little hefty. Now I do have this Trigon thing over here. It's set up to take the, I believe the aluminum? Or is it the Criterium one? I never finished hooking it up. Oh, it's actually the bauxite one. You just feed it bauxite and it makes its own aluminum. That's actually very convenient. And it kicks out 225. Which, that is summer sloops, so we can kind of tweak that a little bit. So that's going to be real nice. Oh, it's a little short. Just a hair short. Maybe we can tweak it a little bit to get a little bit out of there. Or I could do this. I could just shrink this down. That might be easy. That's a lot easier numbers to manage. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. But let's get this thing up and rolling. I don't have anything going into it yet. I don't even have power. We can hook up power real quick. A little bit of a stretch of a power line, but that's fine. We're gonna put another one here on the end. So I can kick the power back where it needs to. Like, I can't even priority switch any of this because it needs to be on all the time. And we'll put another power pole here, and that will kickstart all that stuff. But I'm gonna bring this over. Oh, look at that, straight shot. And look into one of these glitched ones. Alright, so you're getting there. Singularities, that's perfect. Plutonium waste, I will hook up a blast. But now we need the purple stuff. Need the purple stuff. Yeah, but this is gonna be something. Alright, let's get this ball rolling. Now, do I want to put them underneath or not? But what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let us put down more cooling towers just so I get that menu off the side of my screen. So it's done, it's over with, and I don't have to replenish it if I accidentally pull from... There we go. Push down. I'm not really concerned with the water, like where everything lies. I thought I'd be doing something cool and like having this like half in here, which I could do. Just to save myself a little bit of space. And you're down far enough. and build. And lock up the game for a second. You're not done yet. We're going to build another one. See, it touches there, but it overhangs in the back. I could scoot it. Or how much is that touch overhang in the front? Actually, that's fine. I'm actually okay with that. Huh, it's actually the front of the blueprint over there. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll do that. And tower number 2. And that should have cleaned out my inventory quite well. Don't mind a complete frame droppage. And now I'm working in the shade. Alright. They're done. I'll worry about... Well, I already have the water done. But I gotta focus on getting this eating away. Like, I even have the 2 belts for the waste already ran to go back into the system. Alright, so do I want to just put a flooring here, which I might do real quick with the power of Zoop. He throws stuffs off just like half a block now and then. Literally, that is half a block. I can probably flip this out for a half a block, and it would be fine. And it won't be Z clipping. Later date. Alright, so now we need to turn that SAM into... Now, I really do like the whole light show from the SAM converter. But where do we want to put the SAM converter? I think this is it's 300 or 600, 445. That can't be right. It's only one train feeding it right now. Like, if I'm gonna need more, I'll put another train going to the other site not being used. Alright, we're gonna get rid of this wall because it's more of the way than anything. So we got this here. Let's do constructor, 8 stacked. Hug the wall. This blueprint gets used for this purpose so much. There we go. And we're just gonna kick it to reanimated SAM, and we're gonna fully blast it. Like, honestly, it's not gonna keep up, but it will have the notion to expand itself if it needs to. Like, we'll just cut that off for right now. Yeah, we'll just cut it off. Because even if I get 1200, that's a full 1200 belt of SAM. And this train is not going to supply that. So we'll leave that go to what it is. And you are wirelessly attached to something. I don't really like that. So we will hardline you into that stuff. Organization. Always put a storage container for a buffer. So, then this needs to go to a converter. Now, how many can I fit up here? I might even sink these into the ground a little bit. I do like the pipes glowing though. That is also a really cool thing. I may actually even run pipes through here to look like the electricity is hitting off it. See, if we put this here and we just sink it into the ground just a hair, maybe a little more. No. Like, is that gonna look cool, or should we go up in the air with it? I know what we can do. I can still walk path, and I can delete this. I can delete this when I get it all running done. Get our converters. Center that bad boy. And then we got dark residue. Dark matter residue. That's 100. That makes 250. Alright, so we'll do 200%. That will make one full pipe with 3 of these. Now we just need to get it to Sam, reanimated Sam, and we'll be rocking and rolling and do some pipe work. That works. Okay, so where is the Sam? Oh my god, it's the other way. That's awesome. Nope, it's a hair off. That was cool. That was perfectly cool. I like that a lot, actually. Oh, it worked. No, I don't think this game is gonna get any more like massive updates coming soon. So it might be worthwhile to. I want to put the mod on that adds clear tanks. What I mean by clear tanks is these are clear. Which look really cool. And then you can also see what's inside. Alright, and that can go there. this. That is a full 600 pipe. So one of these can actually run off it. I think I'm gonna have the top pipe run off it. It's not always gonna be 100% ready to go. That's not what I wanted. That is going to be a hell of a stretch. Yeah, that's not going to work. And it's not even lined up anyway. So, you are going to need to go here? No. Here. Right there. What do you mean invalid pipe shape? That'll work. We're definitely going to need to put a valve so it doesn't backfeed. And then you're going to need to be... here? And then straight, vertical, and we're off and moving. Another valve. No, a valve here. And another one here. So it only feeds that direction. Yeah, that's pumping it up. That should be no. Why are you only draining at 300? Why are you only draining at 300? I don't need to put a pump on here, right? There's no like micro patch. There shouldn't have been. Just for now. Well, if this is full, it's not going to show me the full rates. Yeah. Alright, so we are ready to go with... I am going to disconnect this one. I don't need that being irradiated right now. But we are ready to go with this. And away you go. And you are making fixonium already. Which... there. Oh, shit. Hold on a second. That'll do. And look at you. So cool. It's like a mini sun inside of a control unit. That's cool. Well, it does take something extremely radioactive and makes it a mild, moderate radioactive. So that's that's a little nice little gimmick. But we are slowly, yeah, we have 12,000 waste. Yeah, we need to, now I want to hook another 2 reactors to it. 2 reactor towers, which is another 40 reactors I want to hook to it. So yeah, we're going to bump this up a little bit. All right, so now now that we have that being made, it's time to jump on to this, which really be the Trigons. Trigons. I could make another train with bauxite. Or just put another train in circuit. That is, quite a bit. Yes, I have this done over here, but I'm probably going to delete this one. Yeah, I'm definitely going to delete this one. Thing is, though, I do need to get the coal. It's only 100 coal. But the SAM, you need SAM also to make Trigons, which sucks. But is what it is. You need more SAM. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bump another train car onto this. Because this is already empty. Ain't that something? Locomotive. Freight car. SAM to nuke G2. Let's see, SAM. Okay, that's 600 underground. We'll do 600 that. SAM to nuke. Save changes. Turn on. Fail. We will paint you purple. Do the whole delete thing so you're not red. Off you go. Yeah, I'll deal with that later. So 200 Trigon. 200 Trigon. Do we try to shove them down here? You got the iron. There's the aluminum. Let's see the difference here. Let me get up top. Let's go with the criterium. There's quite a few criterium nodes that I am just not using. And I could be. So that's criterium 1. This is the iron. With aluminum 1, we can just go survey that. So, this one only needs criterium put, but you need 300 SAM. And that gives you 75. But if we poke our head in here, if we do this, that's 150. That gives you 150. Now I could do this. That only needs... Where you go? You only need 75 reanimated SAM. That's giving you 90. So I could crank this down to 150. At the most, this I can have this do 150, and this pushes out 150. So one for one, pretty much 1 for 1 with SAM. It's not too bad. I think this is going to be an even worse ratio. I'm going to need to borrow this because I don't have any more. This gives me 112. So I can bump this down to 150 again. And I could bump this up to 112. 112, 150 for 150. Is the criterion one the best one? Because you only need to put one material into it. You don't need, like this over here. Yes, it gives me 225, but you need 2 materials. And I have this shrunk down there already to what it needs to be. So it would be one of these setups per. There's tons of coal I'm not using either. But that's 2 inputs versus 1. But it's also 100 less, more or less 100 less. Like we got this guy here. $100 less. But you only need 1 input. So that one's a big no-go. The iron one. It's too weak. So do I go with aluminum and deal with the coal? Or do I expand? Or do I do it with the criterium? 1 input. Wait, how much SAM do you need? You only need 150. I didn't even mark down what this one needs. You need 180. So 1 less completely material, a little less SAM, and you got about half of the trigons out. So I would need 300 SAM to get 300 Trigons. This I would need 360 SAM, only 60 SAM more, and I would get 100. I would get 450, which is 150 more. Yeah, it looks like we're going with aluminum. Yep. Let's go with the aluminum. Where I want to put this? Where I want to do with this? Do I want to try to just train in the Trigons? And I'll go craft that stuff elsewhere? Like back at base, there's a pure node Criterium node, and it's just sitting there. And I already have Sam hooked up to it, and it's all ready to go. So maybe we will go with that route and just... Ooh, look at you, too. And we'll just go with the... We'll try to train it in. That's a lot of training now. That's gonna be his feat. Might have to revamp this. Well, this is a bauxite. And I do have the space to do 2 to make this a full 4. Do I want to do it here though? That's the problem. That is the big dilemma. Yeah, it doesn't fit underneath here. Damn. So I would have to... I do have the space up front here, but I don't want to put nothing there. I like the aesthetic of seeing all the plants, the silos. Even though this silo now is foreshadowing like all the particle accelerators. Like there's tons of bauxite I am not utilizing at all. Like coal and bauxite, like right here is a perfect spot. It's just, and all of this, look at this. It's screaming to go ahead and put it here. It's screaming to put that there. Yeah, maybe we'll have to take a deeper look into that. I'm not gonna go through hooking up the power plant. I did that now for how many episodes? But you are somewhat moving and grooving. Let's put one of these on for right now. $30 per minute is $30 per minute. That's what it should be. Can I get a merger, please? Thank you. Even though you're not running. So yeah, I think we're gonna actually call that there. I'm gonna do a little bit of planning, a little bit of digging into it more. Oh my god, look at this thing's barely even running. Barely running the amount of SAM that it's getting. Well, I need 300 SAM per minute being shoved at it. What is this? Why is crystal oscillators blueprint on my number 1? Thank you. Yeah, you're making 75, 140, 150, yeah. If they were getting 100%, which they're not. I need to do this, but it's gonna have to be done. It's gonna have to be done. Alright, that's your 300, and you should be getting 100%. Yeah, you should be getting 100% of what you should be getting. If that makes sense. At a fraction of what you were getting. So now we only need 600 SAM to get to 300. This is why you need... Oh, summer sloops are so great, but I have 1 left. Like, there might be more out and about in the world. Yeah, okay, there's another 2 there. There's 3 there. Another 3. 9? Excuse me? There's 9 summer sloops in this vicinity, but also every type of spooter. Okay, then I may have to 11 and more spooters. Like, why is Bean listed on this? Yeah, I may have to go back out. I would have a third, a fifth of what I have now if it wasn't for the factory cart duplication glitch in the beginning that I regrettably did, but I'm not ashamed of. Ooh, you're getting 1,054 per minute. That is nice. Sitting idle for a second. Always sitting idle. Yeah, this is... I need to turn this all on, but... This needs to be running because the back feed will power the other 2. But yeah, we're gonna call it there for this episode. I'm going to work out what I want to do. I want to craft the stuff here, or do I want to bring it in by train? That's a whole new theraput option. But we'll figure it out, and we will go from there. We'll catch you all on the next one. Later.